What's going down, y'all? Welcome to the What's the Word podcast. We got Cliff Beats, Knox Hill, ThatSingerReactions, and Anthony Ray, plus your boy Black Pegasus. And today, I think we're going to talk about some beef. And I ain't talking about stir fry, so let's get it rolling. What's up, fellas? How y'all doing?
Ooh,
My
man's got
came in with
bars.
bars.
I adore bars so much, man. Like I really do.
He said stir fry.
Hey, we in here, man. Let's stir it up a little bit.
We
Mix
in
it
here,
up.
not
What's
not
up,
for the
fellas?
vegetarians today.
Let's go.
Hey.
Cause
Oh my God.
y'all know I ain't no vegetarian over this way, dude.
Hey. So who wants to kick this off today, man? Where we at with it?
So
Go ahead.
listen, I'll kick
Go
it. Which one you want to go, Cliff?
No, I was just gonna ask, like, you mean like legendary beefs just throughout the hip hop genre?
I'll just
Start
start
off.
it. So because I haven't listened to it in so long, right? I decided to go back on the old school beefs, like the Tupacs, and you know what I'm saying, like the Tupac and Biggie beef, and how Nas was in there, and then it kind of led me back to the Jay-Z take, you know what I'm saying, takeover, and the oh my God, the ether, you know what I'm saying, and I was listening to that again, and I'm like, they was really snapping, especially given the era that was in. You know what I'm saying? We wasn't hearing people really go off like that. This is the reason why I got Nas. You know what I'm saying? Number two, I let me tell you something. My top 5 rappers,
We should do that.
they shuffle. You know, if it's cold
Yeah.
outside, it could be somebody another day. You feel
J.
me?
Cole.
Like J. Cole, J.
Cold
Cole,
world.
bro.
Cold world.
It's a cold world, man.
Yeah, man. I think that Nas Jay-Z beef is obviously it's one of the greatest. But for me, the wild thing about that one is, you know, that's where you had East Coast West Coast beef. This is a beef that's similar territory. You know, this is more about like King of New York type of beef, man. You know, this is you know, Queens going at it. This is the boroughs going at it with each other. You know, Queens versus Brooklyn, and it's just there's a lot of familiarity with that beef too. A lot more tie-ins. It feels more personal in a lot of ways at the same time, and I think that just
kinda grew
heats
up
up the
together, too.
drama, doesn't
Yeah,
it? That sauces it.
Yeah.
They were hustling together too, so that's why even like Nas was like, man, like I gave you my numbers. You know what I'm saying? Like basically saying like I wouldn't give you like I basically saying like I sunned you with like giving you packs and shit. Like what he says, your Hawaiian shirt, like making fun
Hawaiian
of his
Sophie.
like the way like the way he used to dress and shit like that, and how he acted before he met Nas. Nas was like, I put you on game. When I heard Ether, I was like, oh my God, this is way too much, dude.
Right. And here's the thing, Jay-Z, like listening back to it, because he don't get enough credit
No.
at all. You know what I'm saying?
Takeover.
Because people, you know what I'm saying, Jay-Z is very gangster, and people don't understand a lot of his
Setups?
street talk. Yeah, his street talk and the way he crafts his material together too. You know what I'm saying? Like it's sort of like how Eminem is. I was telling people, because everybody's hitting me up like, do more Eminem on the channel, please. You know what I'm saying? So they really trying to. And I just heard for the first time yesterday. I ain't uploaded it. It was Eminem and who is this other damn dude?
A beef?
Nah. It was Eminem and somebody. Damn it, I can't.
What was it? Just I know a lot of
Concepts,
Eminem.
yeah, we'll probably catch up on it.
He was
talking
just-
about-
He was featured in.
this?
Oh, Eminem and Yellow Wolf.
okay.
Yellow Wolf featuring Eminem, best friend.
Oh,
Bro,
great
that's my
song.
favorite. That's my favorite artist.
So I was listening to that, and Eminem, I was just like trying to like, I was like, people don't understand that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, the way he craft his material, and that's why he's in like my top 5. I was like, y'all don't get it, man. Like, and his cadence is different too. Yeah, man. Like, that's what made me like kind of start diving deep into the. All right, let me go back and just kind of do some history stuff and look at the Nas and the Jay-Z's and go back a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Did
even Eminem's style on Infinite, you know, that emulates so much of Nas. I mean, you can just you can hear the Nas factor throughout that album. Go on,
And
BP. You were gonna
it's-
talk.
No, and I was gonna say like it's interesting because Eminem's entendres, it's so freaking crazy. But Jay-Z is in that realm too. Well, he'll hit you with a triple or even quadruple, where you're like, oh shit, like some for me sometimes I'll catch it right away, but sometimes I'll be like, oh, this is why people call him Jay the GOAT, because he just said this. That was wild, but it was interesting the way that beefs and battles are so interesting because with Nas, he's that dude, but in that battle, he looked like the underdog because Jay-Z was on the top of the charts, always on MTV. And there's something about the underdog story, and Nas hit him with more personals than entendres, and that's when you have fun with, because like Tupac's the king of the personals. He's not hitting you with Eminem bars, but that he uses his voice as an instrument. There's this thing Tupac does where his voice, it's almost like he's singing and rapping, and that hits you emotionally. So there's these different things that pop up in these beefs and these battles that I'm like, it's just crazy, the different dynamics, especially with Nas and Jay, because I'd argue Jay might have said more punchlines and hit Nas with more, but there's something about that energy
I
of
thought I
ether
was
that
crazy.
you're just like, yo, Nas took that, bro. Like,
But
it's
it
it's
was
weird.
something about his aggression and the way he was
That
really
beat.
like the delivery and the conviction. Like everything was really hitting. Like, oh damn, I feel this. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Well,
like,
beat selection is huge in a battle as well, and in a beef. And Ether has gone down as one of the most iconic beats of all time now. Like, how many people have used that in a battle and recycle that, just showing just Nas's beat selection choice, which is interesting because you would figure that Jay-Z, of all people, would have the better beat selection, and he would have the more iconic hitting beats that he would attack Nas with. Nas, one of the biggest critiques of Nas is that he can't pick beats right, especially back then. Obviously you got Illmatic, and that's one of the greatest albums of all time, but there's still that critique then of Nas's beat selection, right? And he just focuses on the lyricism and he doesn't focus as much on the sound, where Jay-Z's more sound, singles, hits. So the fact that Nas comes through with amazing production on this, I think that was a big reverse Uno for that battle, and just like something that goes underappreciated.
Yeah, the
Funny
first
little extra.
Go ahead.
A funny little extra on that. There around 2002 when Eminem dropped his album, the movie, 8 Mile. He had a album for that movie, like the soundtrack, where he had, I think, Lose Yourself was on that, 8 Mile, stuff like that. But he also had Nas, You Wanna Be Me, and he put Jay-Z. I don't remember what the Jay-Z song was, but that was like still not too long after the feud. He put them both on that same album. M did that.
Jay-Z had that track on 8 Miles, like 8 miles of running, got my 7th
Yeah, 8
album
miles of
coming
running.
in, man.
Yep. That's the one.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Nas had You Wanna Be Me, and he put them together.
Yeah.
They didn't really like that.
I think those that don't appreciate Jay-Z, all you got to do is go back and listen to Reasonable Doubt. Like Jay-Z could have stayed in that lane, but he even talked about it. What was it, like Black Album? I dumbed down for my audience, double my dollars. They criticize me for it, yet they all yell holla.
Holla.
If skills sold, truth be told, I'd probably be Talib Kweli. Truthfully, I want to rhyme like
oh,
common sense.
Knox, you better know your
know.
hip hop history.
Yeah, but like Jay even
I love
admitted,
that.
like I get that, he showed, I feel like early on, he's capable of the lyrical acrobats, but then he definitely watered it down, and he wanted to, he was a hustler at the end of the day. He wanted to sell, and he wanted to be successful, and he wanted to get out of the situation.
444, I think. What was it? Where he just shows, I think, the opposite.
That's so
of that,
underrated. That
Where
album's
he's
so
just
underrated.
like, man, my level is so much higher than you that like y'all can't even resonate with what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's like
That-
artsy.
what is it
man.
called? Is
Yeah.
it 444? It's one of his latest.
444.
albums.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
That
he made that like I can't say that because you know what's behind that. You know what I'm saying?
But
Oh,
he's
they
showing,
censored
he's
it. I think it was
in that
called.
one too. He's also just showing that he's a grown ass man too. Like he's like, yo, I've entered this chapter of my life. Let me give y'all some game. And I think
Yeah.
as artists, we start to develop these things, because I remember when I hit 30, I was going through, I called it my mid-mic crisis, because it was like, I was like, yo, what do I rap about? And I did this record called YMP, and I was all like, it was all like kind of misogynistic in a way, and just like I was really leaning into trying to act like I was 20 because I couldn't figure out like, oh, what do I do? I'm 30, and hip hop is kind of, it's still new territory, like having Jay-Z, Eminem, Tech Nine, these older brothers.
Nas is still releasing.
And them being in their 50s now and still paving a road. So like it took me
Royce
a while
the
to my
5'9".
30. It took till like I was like 36 to really gauge my bearings and be like, yo, I'm not 20 anymore. Like, do you? And 444 showed that off for Jay. So yeah, I was just highlighting. 'cause
That's a
y'all
great
brought that
shout out.
record up.
One thing I
Yeah, I
wanted
like
to mention
that.
too. Sorry, I'm going to cut you off, AR.
No, go ahead.
Really quick. One thing I wanted to mention too about the whole beef with Nas, Jay-Z, and this person is also included in this conversation. Man, I remember when Nas first heard Big L, he goes, "This is what I'm up against. I am fucked." That was exactly what he said.
Rest in peace.
Whoa. Yeah, Big L was a problem, dude. If that dude would have stayed
Punchline
alive, oh
king.
my god.
Bro, both bigs. Both bigs. I mean, three bigs. Sorry, Notorious B.I.G.,
Yeah.
Big
Big
L,
Pun.
and Big Pun. Man,
Yeah.
Oh,
NYC,
my God.
holy shit. You think about the lyricism that New York City has given the world.
Big Pun's ability to wordplay and syllable usage into his punchlines, it wasn't done like that. Like he's just, I don't know. I felt like he was ahead of his time. And what's interesting is the only person, like, watching Eminem go from Infinite to, like, let's say the Slim Shady, and then start making these leaps to, like, Rap God with, you know, because that's like Jay-Z going back to his, like, fast, like, Fushnikins flow. Like, he didn't do that, but M did. M's like, I'm going to master all these different chapters, which is very interesting because you start to wonder, with punchlines that Big L was writing all the way back then, what would he be coming up with now? You know, same with the wordplay with Big Pun, you know, like, because that's the other thing as Big Pun got older, like, if he would have lost weight, you can hear the enunciation better. And like his beginning stuff was more smooth than his older stuff because you started to hear that in the back of his verses. So, yeah, man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm guilty for not really knowing a whole lot of Big Pun stuff. So I think that'd be a good
What is it?
dive.
Capital Punishment?
Yep,
Capital
Capital
Punishment.
Punishment.
Go
Go
do
listen.
yourself a favor. Go listen to that.
And that's one of those.
That could be a gym playlist too, man. You can
Yeah,
just
that's
throw
a
that on
classic
and rhyme
album.
with it.
That's one of the ones you could play start to finish.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah, because
Yep.
I'm kind of, I was like Big Pun. I remember, like, see, when I grew up, the only thing, and I kid you not, because that didn't come until later, you know, the Nas's, the Jay-Z's, we didn't listen to nothing in our house but two people. It was Tupac and Heavy D. I don't know why Heavy D was played.
Let's go.
Holy shit.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's
like,
how I beatbox.
that's all we listened to. Like, every time we went to a party, all you heard was the All Eyes on Me album. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was it. You know what I'm saying? It just was looping every single time. So, you know, occasionally Biggie, but it was just always Tupac or the same Heavy D song. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I think what's
R.I.P. Heavy
interesting.
D.
I think what's interesting about that, you know, we talked about the personals to the Jay-Z and the Nas beef, but the Tupac and Biggie beef, even though it was East Coast, West Coast, was actually very personal as well. Because, you know, Big did look up to Pac, and, you know, Big slept on Pac's couch, and, you know, Pac was kind of mentoring Big and helping him with shit. So they knew each other. And I think that's why Pac, after he got shot and survived that and then went back, I think that's really why he went so just raw with the personals on Hit 'Em Up and beyond that. Like, because I think there was betrayal to him involved, you know? It just felt like it hit a little deeper for Pac because he's such a poetic, passionate soul. It just felt like it wasn't just like a beef for Pac. It was that fucking betrayal that he felt from Big. I think that really just lit that fire.
I also want to say, like, sorry, I'm going to cut you off. I was going to say, think about who was also in Pac's ear at that time. You know, one of the biggest controversial figures in hip-hop.
One of the biggest shit stirrers ever.
That's what I'm saying. You got that dude in your ear, like a little devil on your shoulder, nonstop. Like, oh, yeah, like, I heard this dude hit you. This dude hit you. This dude hit you. What the fuck are you going to do? You're going to make diss tracks, and you're going to get ready to go to war. I mean, that's, like you said, Pac was so soulful and about it. Like, that's what the fuck's going to happen.
yeah, and he was very direct.
To add to what Cliff said, I was thinking the same exact thing, but the opposite.
Oh,
What
the
if
other
Big-
shit stirrer.
What if Biggie didn't even betray Pac? What if it has something to do with Diddy? Now all this stuff coming out.
I
of
was
Diddy?
thinking that. I was
That's what I
literally.
do.
Bruh, like what's
Yep.
really good, you know?
Dude.
It gets wild,
Yep.
and with the Biggie Pac stuff, the what's that dude's name?
Just
Keith D and all that stuff. That's going off the rails, but that is
Yo-
just crazy.
Yo,
because-
to keep weaving these connections of what we talk about, BP, something interesting with Diddy and beefs, right? You know, when M pointed at Diddy at the end of that MGK beef, at the end of Kill Shot, right? And then Diddy came out in an interview later on and said, I'm going to handle Eminem. And then if you look at over the years, you've had Game come out, you've had different people come out who have links to Diddy's companies, and it's
Yeah,
almost
boy.
like there's been this sort of PR spin and rotation. And King Crooked even talked on this, how there's this like media machine that is really working hard to discredit Eminem, and it feels like that's Diddy behind the scenes trying to pull
100%.
strings on that.
100%.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I said.
That's interesting.
At the end of my reaction video, I go, listen, I go, if anybody had any information on this and was in the industry, who was a huge fan of Tupac, who do you think would know the most? You don't think Eminem did a little bit of digging and asking questions with people behind the scenes? Like, why do you think he even, like, didn't finish the line completely? He goes, ah! Like, he didn't even want to finish it because he knew what everybody knew what he was trying to say. You know what I'm saying? But it was a punch right to Diddy, like, I know, motherfucker. And even Casanova was like, hey, you're dry snitching. And it's like, are you saying that you know Diddy did some shit too? Now Casanova's in jail.
Yeah. He's a sewer rat.
Oh, yeah. But I'm just saying, people were talking like, oh, you're wrong for that. It's like, but are you saying that he's right? Because you're saying he's wrong for that, but he just called him out on that. You see what I'm saying? If it wasn't real, you wouldn't say nothing.
See, I fell for it too. I want to go back in time and just like slap younger me across the side of the face, man. Because like Diddy and Mace, don't push us because we're. Come on, man. Why you want to take us under? It just. Music video in front of the fucking plane and shit, man. I was feeling it. I was feeling it. Diddy and Mace, man.
Everybody just
shit.
All these.
Why you do that?
This stuff coming out about different artists, and it's just like, come on, bro. You got a huge catalog now. We can't even. You done ruined it for us now, bro. Like.
You know what? I'm going to take a little bit of a shift, same concept. And if we want to go back to where we're at, perfect. But because M came up, I was thinking in my mind, what is the most disappointing battle? And for me, it involves Eminem. It's Eminem versus Cannabis. I expected so much from Cannabis. And I was just like, bro, what are we doing? So I thought that was kind of funny, like, because there's some battles where you're like, oh, my God, they're going head. There's great battles, right? Jay-Z, Nas, what was it? Common, Ice Cube, Tupac,
Oh, my
Biggie.
God.
50 Ja
Bro,
Rule.
like, we got some fire joints, but I felt like, when
Kanye Push.
I'm saving that one. Don't drop that one yet, AR. We'll get to that one.
T.I.
That's a
Luda,
good conversation.
That fight for the South, like
Yo,
the whole thing, yeah.
I really like Joe Budden versus Drake. That's one that I don't know if y'all know about. That's kind of below the radar, but what Joe Budden did against Drake, I'm like, he spazzed. Yeah. Joe Budden spazzed on Drake, bro. Yeah. Go ahead, Pete. We interrupted you.
The Cannabis just self-destructed, didn't he, BP? Like, even he self-destructed in the was it the cast? Who was he battling when he had to pull his fucking phone out? It was a disaster battle. That's right.
It was disastrous.
He had to pull his phone out.
He pulled a notebook out.
He had to pull the lyrics out.
He said, I got bars. I got bars, like, bro.
That's actually how I got hipped on the Cannabis. I didn't know who he was until the battle rap scene, till Disaster.
So Cannabis really had his moment. He was doing these features that you were just like, what is going on? Who is this guy? And he drops his first album. Now, it wasn't commercially successful, but if you're into lyrics, you're like, this is ignorant. And then after that, it was just like, bro, it just, I enjoyed the one. He did a joint with Stoop from Jedi Mind Tricks. I was like, yo, this is cool. But from these features and these appearances that he was doing with huge people were so out of control. I remember what was that dude? DJ Clue had some phenomenal verses from Cannabis. I don't know. But anyways, for me personally, because in that moment, I'm this super Eminem fan, and I'm still a fan of M. And I was just like, oh, yeah, no one's really messing with M. And then Cannabis, I was like, well, oh, shit, Cannabis got bars, bro. What's going to happen? But it was totally a total fluke. Total fluke.
Yeah, when it comes to that battle, though, I felt like LL Cool J kind of cooked him, and then Eminem just kind of like just ran over the body.
Yeah, he was.
Oh,
he was already
LL
gone.
Cool J.
Eminem literally ran over the body. Like that was a part of his skit
Cool J.
within his verse, within his diss, wasn't it? Remember?
I think it
love
was.
Shit,
You're
back
right.
it up over Cannabis. That's right.
I think
to Canada.
Yeah, he ran over the carcass. I mean, listen, LL Cool J, he's not known for being a battle rapper, but what he did and was able to do is hold his own against a lyricist like Cannabis. I was like, damn, Cannabis ain't what I thought he was. Like, it just seemed like I'm not saying like a nerd, but it kind of exposed him a bit, like with, you know what I'm saying? at that
I-
time.
I actually, that battle was less disappointing just because it was so exciting. Because Cannabis came out swinging with second round KO.
Yep.
Like
Yeah.
he came out like you're like, oh, you're like LL's done, and then
Yeah,
LL
it's
dropped
on.
the joint. So that was it. Like if I can get excited and be like, yo, there was a cool back and forth. Great, yeah, he did trample Cannabis absolutely. But you know, I did. I'm not gonna front. I think I bring that up because I expected so much from Cannabis because the
what you're saying.
onset. If you go from like what some of these features, you're like, who the hell want to battle that mathematical? My brain is
Yeah,
IBM
because-
compatible. Like you're
Yeah.
like, yo, this dude's starting to go crazy. But anyways, I just thought
You know,
I brought that up.
going into the battle, he is definitely one of the best MCs on paper that Eminem had faced. You know, it's like, you know, I know I was giving you guys shit for missing March Madness right now, but you know, it's like the 1 seed going up against a 16, and then the 16 just comes out of nowhere, and you're like, what the fuck? Where's the 1 seed gone? Like that was what Cannabis did. He ghosted himself essentially. I'll tell you, an Eminem battle, you know, that was a great surprise for me, BP. On the flip side of it, that a lot of people don't appreciate, Eminem, Mariah Carey. All right, Obsessed was a hit fucking song. I still bump Obsessed. I'm not afraid to say it. That's right.
yeah.
Makes my nipples hard to this day, but she trolled the shit out of Eminem.
She
That
did.
was so much fun.
She did, dressing
She
up
did.
like him and everything.
Yeah.
That was funny
Yeah.
as hell.
Yeah.
Man, I didn't know she had it in her. But then obviously Eminem with a lethal clap back on that, and then the voice notes, the voice memos that get shared. I mean,
Slim
oh,
Shady.
But
Oh
did you
shit,
hear-
is that supposed to be me in the video with the goatee? Wow, Mariah, didn't expect you to go balls out, but shut the fuck up before I put all the phone calls out you made in my house when you was wilding out before Nick, when you was on my dick, give you something to smile about. Bro, that yo, the warning is
Yes.
crazy. It's
yeah.
crazy.
That was a great
Go ahead.
beef. You know what I mean? Like, she wasn't an MC. She did better in that beef than Cannabis did.
100%.
Yeah. Yeah,
She did well.
she stuck in there, and it's crazy too because when you think about how Eminem used to be, and you think about Lyrical Lemonade.
Oh, my bad.
I'm sorry, Doomsday 2. And remember when he was like, point the gat like mine and Sandra Bullock's nose? You
Yeah.
notice that's kind of showing like growth with him because usually he would just flame everybody else, but he also flamed himself too for having a pointy nose. And also, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, that was kind of fire how he like showing like, I am a grown man, but if
Yeah.
I have to go back to that way, you know,
that
I could
rhyme scheme,
easily,
too.
yeah, that was crazy.
Plan a funeral. And
You
then
want to know
Sandra
what's
Bullock's nose.
funny is that when I was in high school, I had a visualization board, and on this board, because I was like, oh, I'm gonna marry this chick or whatever. Anyways, but it was Alicia Keys,
Uh-huh.
Selma Hayek, and Mariah Carey.
Oh,
So when M did that, I was like, I was kind of hurt. I was like, M, no, she's calling you. What the fuck? Anyways, I was too old at
Yeah.
that
I
point,
always
but
been
it was funny.
I was
like,
always
yo,
a
this is
Mariah
crazy,
Carey
so.
fan, so when I used to be like, damn, what the hell going on here? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Wifey, you won my love.
clean up on aisle 13.
Visualization board.
yeah.
Speaking of,
We got some spillage.
Speaking of Eminem and Mariah beef, let's talk about really quickly. I mean, the cat's out the bag now. Eminem's got an album getting ready to drop. Do you guys have any ideas of what you think it's going to be? Because me personally, I'm thinking it's going to be leaning towards the Slim Shady 2 LP. That's what I'm thinking it's going to end up being.
Well, that's what all the rumors are, but, you know, rumors are like assholes. Everybody's got one.
Yeah, but there's also a rumor about it being like the Eminem show too, or like the final Eminem show, because he keeps going through the curtains in the
Yeah. The
Lyrical
Cole Bennett
Lemonade video.
Lyrical
Yeah.
Lemonade videos. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I think what'll be really interesting to stay on the beef topic as well is we know Benzino has, you know, had a collection. Let's call it the Benzino Ghostwriter collection, right? They put out the best hits of responses to Eminem. So I just wonder how the Benzino situation is going to be addressed, because I do think he's obviously disqualified himself from Eminem needing to respond. But does M address ghostwriters in any way? Like, does he
Yeah.
ignore the Benzino beef, or do we?
He'll say
Do
something.
we get? Do
There's
we get a
probably
collective?
things more. There's more things I'm sure Eminem knows that a lot of us don't know that he might expose. And Al, I mean, he already said that in the Doomsday that he could go back to that padded cell. You know what I'm saying? And what video was that? y'all would know that better than me. What video was that Eminem where he was like in a straitjacket, like back in the day?
My name is.
My name is, yeah.
My name
you know
is.
what I'm saying? So I'm wasn't that like kind of him saying like I can easily go back to that. Like
Well, he was saying like padded room I go. That's also like a recording studio because it's padded off. So he's saying a recording studio. Same thing with me going to the insane asylum. So yeah, it was.
Yeah.
right. Okay.
Yeah, it was like a
And then-
double right there.
Yeah.
I think he's just gonna mention these fools on a verse here and there, the same way he handled Nick Cannon. He was on a DJ Khaled song dissing one of the. Was it Nick Cannon? He just ripped him a new a-hole on that song.
I think that was one of the worst
Some
beats.
disrespectful.
Oh, the eunuch.
Yeah, the eunuch. It's like, oh, I was like, bro, but that situation with Nick Cannon, it just. You don't think M's gonna respond, and then he hits you with a bar, 2-3 bars, just like the most foul, disrespectful shit, on a verse, on a feature somebody else. He did the same thing with Easy Mill. He was dissing somebody on Easy Mill's record.
Oh
He'll
yeah,
just
cool.
he'll do
the OG,
features
the
and
OG.
yeah, he'll the
Melly
game
Mel,
on the,
right?
in the
Wasn't it
game
Melly
too.
Mel.
And
Yeah,
he
yeah,
said
yeah.
the only reason that they play your shit in the club is because you still perform in them. Like he'll hop on features or he'll do a verse here and there where he'll mention in 2 or 3 bars and body them, and that's all that needs to be done. I don't think he's gonna make dedicate a full song to dissing, to responding to Benzino.
Yeah, I mean,
Just
you
gonna
know,
be a
like
mention there.
Music to Be
Yeah.
Murdered By, he was still, washing Machine Gun Kelly, and he dropped different references to him throughout. Like, I just feel like, yeah, you're right. You could just get all these little breadcrumbs just scattered throughout different
I'm
verses
God and the
and
Lord
different moments.
forgives. He said, "I'm God and the Lord forgives," and he was talking
Yeah.
about MGK. That was
Yeah.
funny.
And MGK did pretty good too, but it just
The song was a good song. It was a decent song. Yeah, it's battle wise, I don't know, but you know what's crazy too? Think about this, because everyone was thinking that the album was already going to drop. Even the Lyrical Lemonade video was supposedly supposed to drop earlier than it did. Do you think that with what happened with Benzino and how it got dragged across YouTube, that might have prolonged Eminem's release because he was gathering more and more information from everybody, kind of keeping a close eye on Benzino? Like, let's say with the Ghostwriter situation, let's say with Knox dropping a diss record. Let's talk about, Cassius ended up getting involved. Maybe M was like, hold on, let me sit back and learn a little bit more about this shit before I actually put this final piece to the puzzle together to really address this issue.
observe.
Do you think we contributed to the narrative, Cliff?
Do I think so? I mean, if I'm an artist and I'm wrapping up an album and this just popped off, I might sit back for a minute to see if there's anything, like any extra dirt I could throw on top of the casket, so to speak. I'm not saying we did. I have no idea, but I think maybe your
Bro.
diss and the exposing the ghostwriters and shit might have been like, damn, now I got some new targets. Maybe I need to line up in my sights just in case this shit does pop off.
Yeah, I mean, I won't share a lot. I will share one thing. Like, I have very good confirmation that he's heard my Benzino diss, and he's also heard the track I did with King Crooked.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be
there's
surprised
no
at all.
surprise there.
So
I was
I
actually
will
gonna
share
say that.
that. Like,
That's epic, and it goes to what Cliff is saying. But what I'd like to highlight too is me growing up in the '90s, bro. Like, this is what's crazy. We're in this age of information where they're trying to shut down Twitter and all these things. Why? Because these things get exposed. There's battles that we don't even know there were ghostwriters, but because of the element of this information, YouTube and all these things coming together, I'm kind of getting goosebumps because it's really cool, man. Like, I get to see behind the veil. I got a buddy who battle raps. He is crazy with his pen, and he's been approached because his battles are, he's been on URL a little bit.
What's his name?
But some of the underground stuff. I don't want to.
Okay.
I'll tell you off. I'll tell you guys off camera. It's not.
You knew I
a
was
big
about
deal.
to
It's
be
not
like,
that big of a
what's his
deal.
name?
But because he doesn't have an image, they're like, hey, would you write for this other dude who has an image? So these things are happening, and I just think it's interesting because I kind of had the veil over my eyes with certain things, like, no way. And so, like, the battle scene, there are some purists, and there are some people who really go at it, and you can kind of tell because they freestyle, da-da-da-da-da. But a lot of the battle leagues are becoming like, for me, WWF, for y'all, WWE or whatever is the current wrestling thing. So it's just interesting. But again, I wanted to highlight what Cliff said because it's so cool that y'all were able to bring that to light. That's like some journalism type. You know what I mean? Like, this is what journalists used to do. They used to blow up the establishment. Like, nah, that's not really what happened. But now, you know, you get Julian Assange. But this is ill. This is dope. You guys are uncovering stuff that people wouldn't know, especially the novice. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's really interesting. I mean, Cliff, you can attest to it too. It was wild because after, you know, we started publishing our videos, then you start getting all these messages and emails, and like the internet starts playing sleuth, and then you start getting all these different sources and these different things, and it's all of a sudden like, what the fuck do I do with this information? Like, holy shit! Like, you know, you're right. You're kind of a part of a moment in hip hop history, aren't you?
Yeah.
It's sort of surreal to think about, you know, because you're all of a sudden a part and contributing to these situations that are happening and affecting how artists respond and affecting how things play out. Go on, Cliff.
No, I was like that was like the hardest part about it was like when I was approached. I can't go naming names, obviously, but now people are trying to say I work with Benzino. Did you not hear me say I would crack this motherfucker's jaw in half if I hit him? Like that diamond would be cut in half. Anyways, yeah, it was so weird.
And that's not a threat. He's just saying, you know what I'm saying? Like,
It's a threat.
Threat.
Yeah, it's a threat.
Right.
Because he tried to take my channel. He tried to take my channel.
He's a Chicago boy, all right? Leave the Chicago boy alone. He's fired up.
Bought the hammers out in Chicago.
No, I'm saying
don't fuck with the channel.
You tried to take down my channel for doing absolutely nothing besides showcasing your work that you've already done in the 2002, and then now you want to have Quarter Labs, which represents Cassidy, come take down all my shit. Then I also
multiple times too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. 4 times until I had to have our team message them like, hey, if you do it one more time, like we're gonna file whatever they file with YouTube. Anyways, I'm getting carried away. But when I was approached by his team or people that don't like him or he owes money to, I was put in a weird position. They were like, here's the footage. And they gave me way too much footage. And I said, hey, like, are you shopping this around? And they were like, not yet. Like, we want to give it to you first. You know, but the tag is $20K. And I'm like, boss, I wouldn't pay $20 for this. Like, I'm losing money on this deal. Like, what? We all know he has ghostwriters. And I was like, in my mind, I'm like, but I want to get it to the people. I'm like, how do I get it to the people? So I was like, but what I can do is I can take a small clip of this and cut a promo for you guys and try to get you the money because I know someone out there would want to pay, right? Knowing in my mind, I'm not taking any money from anybody. Like, people were offering me from between 50 to 100K for this video, and I was like, yo, no, like, that's not what this is. This is me trying to devalue this shit because I don't want Benzino getting a fucking penny for the bullshit he's done because you got to remember, I love the culture as well. Even though I am white, I still love this culture. This is what helped raise me. So what I did was I cut that promo, and I'm so glad that I did. And like Knox said about being a part of it, it was cool to be a part of it, but at the same time, I caught a lot of backlash because people thought I was doing a money grab. But if you ask anybody who made me an offer, I mean, I have receipts. I go, no. You can even see it in my comment sections. I'm like, do not start a GoFundMe. Do not send me any money. Do not do anything. Like, I have this under control. So, like, while they were either, like, they were trying to play me, however they were trying to move, like, I was already steps ahead of them by fucking up their bag. You see what I'm saying?
It's definitely opened up my eyes. And BP, I think the great point that you make, and piggybacking off of Cliff, is, like, it does make me think now about battles in the past. And, like, this is something that happened in this battle. You know, we can pinpoint that there's ghostwriters involved in this. And I think anybody with a logical brain who understands the technicals of rap can get it. And even, like, I just interviewed Mickey Fax the other day, and even he said, like, in battle rap, no. He's like, absolute no, having somebody write for you. You know, that's your own pen writing, and that's just the culture of it. You know, you can't get around that. You can't have writers in a battle, but it just does make me think and wonder. Like, this happens in the industry all the time. What's happened in the past as well, too, BP, bro. You know? And it's been wild, like, being a part of this. And, like, you know, someone will drop a diss track. Like, you know, Cassidy dropped his track. We reacted to it. And we're getting more views than the motherfucking release, you know?
Yeah,
like,
I didn't do that.
It's just, it's wild to see these situations play out. Like, my diss got more views than Benzino's diss. Or, like, reacting to Cassius's diss track. And that gets more views. And it's just, like, all of a sudden, you feel like more pressure, I guess, too, don't you, Cliff? Because it's like you have all these fucking eyes on you, and you just like you feel a responsibility at the same time for your words and what you're saying.
Here's the crazy thing too. I don't know if people have realized this or know this, but Cassidy actually dropped a second disc, and it was up for about like 3 or 4 hours, and he pulled it down, and it was directed at me and Eminem, and he pulled it down after 4 hours. People were like, "Yo, Cliff, Cassidy dropped a second song." No, I went to go listen to it, and it was gone already. But people were like sending me screenshots of the actual thumbnail and like them listening to it. I don't have anything though, but they pulled it right off YouTube. I don't know for whatever reasons, maybe because it gave away too much information. But I had Quarter Lab up my.
I wonder if we can find it.
Yo, I need to hear it. We need to hear it. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
We're
that
gonna
was a
put
second
this
I
out
didn't
there
know
for
that
any
either.
listeners. If anybody caught it and has any recordings of it,
Yeah.
Please send it
really,
to
really
everybody.
interested. Because again, it's interesting moves, especially him dissing Eminem. You know, again, you got to think about what this stuff says underneath of it all, right? Like, why do that
Yeah.
then?
You weren't
why
involved,
do that?
right? You weren't
if you're not
involved,
involved,
right?
right? And why even get so upset about Cliff? And why go after Cliff anyways? Again, if you're not involved, what's going on with the situation?
What?
Yeah. No,
One
it
thing I
shows-
want.
Go ahead.
My bad.
Go
I
ahead,
already
BK.
talked, so if you're gonna go, Nick.
No, I was just gonna say
Yeah.
it just shows kind of how much, like power in a way that reactors or content creators can have. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't have the old TRLs and the 106 and Parks no more. You know what I'm saying? Now it's us watching the videos and stuff now and reviewing different things. So, yeah, I think that some of the stuff that you brought to the light, Cliff, it drew a lot of attention. You know what I'm saying? Like, made them be like, well, wait a minute. Because didn't he address it? Like, didn't he say something about the ghostwriters? You know what I'm saying? His neck was like squished in, but you know what I'm saying? He was like talking about it. And didn't he bring that up? Like,
The day I announced it, the day I said what happened, the next day he went on to some radio station or something, or wherever he did a podcast. He said exactly what I said in the video the day beforehand. He went and said the same exact thing that I said, and I'm like, there you go.
You're sorry, I'm catching this now. You're referring to Benzino.
Yeah.
Because Cliff did say in his video before, like, he went into studio with a group of other MCs. And then literally the next day, like, people were like, oh, the haters who want to go attack Cliff are like, no, he did blah, blah, blah. Where's he getting his source from and all that? And then the next day, literally Benzino in a podcast. Yeah, I roll in with my people. We bounce ideas off of each other. We give each other verses. And then it was like, what? You give each other verses? That's cute.
Dude,
that's cute.
I still had people arguing with me like, well, no, he means this. I'm like, dude, it's right. He's saying it right here for you. Why are you arguing with me? Like, I'm just telling you the facts. I was like, I'm done answering anybody's questions. I'm done. I'm leaving it alone. You guys do what you want.
I think you're in an interesting situation because, you are yourself a ghostwriter, right? You're involved in the industry. So I think what's really interesting is, like, there's been times in the past when I'm sure information has come across your table when it's like, I could leak this, I could talk about it, and you probably haven't, but it just felt like this situation, I think you wanted to make a point, didn't you? Like, this is so against hip-hop, this is so against the culture of battle rap that I'm gonna expose this. I'm gonna speak out on this situation.
See, that's where people get a big misconception, too, with ghostwriters, too, is it works in a lot of different ways. There's not one set way for you to be a ghostwriter. Like, if you watch Rhymefest, that motherfucker's with Kanye West 24/7. Like, he'll be in the middle of a desert making an album. That's his main ghostwriter.
Yeah.
Like, that is who he is assigned to. They have a contract. They have a contractual agreement where he doesn't work with anybody else besides Kanye West. You know what I'm saying? But everyone will be like, oh, you're not a ghostwriter. It's like, dude, there's also bidding systems. There's also people that you will be assigned to, be it multiple people, one person, three-piece persons, or you could just be working with underground artists at the same time while you work with one client. It's not always the same. So people get this big misconception of what a ghostwriter is, and, oh, I don't see writing credits. No shit, because you are a freelance artist that's getting paid to not get any mentions anywhere. People don't want you to know that you're being used, but
That's the ghost. That's the ghost part.
I was just about to say that. I was like, ain't you a ghostwriter? Meaning
You're not
you're not
a writer.
supposed
You're
to
a
be.
ghostwriter.
You're supposed to be anonymous.
But here's
Like,
the thing: is like I don't know what it is about me, but like I write in my we have 6 studios in my studio, right? So I sit in my studio E, I write by myself, and then people like to talk to me about shit, or I'll walk into a different studio and I'll hear conversations about stuff going on in hip hop that I have no idea about, and I'm just like, wait a minute, say that again. What's going on? Like, and that's what Knox just said, where I will hear shit. Like I knew Eminem's album was gonna be dropping for a while now, and I was like, I can't really say shit, but I know it's coming down the pipeline. So like I even told our people ahead of time, like, yo, like check on my Eminem videos, make sure everything's good because an album's gonna be coming this year. I was like, I don't know if it's gonna be in the first quarter or second quarter, but it's coming. And then all of a sudden everyone's like, no, Cliff, Eminem's not dropping another album. It's just the 25th anniversary. I'm like, trust me, he's dropping an album. And then Dr. Dre comes out on Jimmy Kimmel and goes, oh, I could announce Eminem's dropping an album. And I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah. Well, I know. Even like the Cash's interview I did, he leaked that Eminem's working on an album. It's coming, and people are like, no, it's not. It's never coming. But there we go. Cliff, I got a quick question for you, because this still ties in with beef. I'm always trying to keep us around our word of the day. But since you did what you've done about this whole situation and exposing this beef, right? Have you had any difficulties at work now? Have people treated you any differently? Like, have you had any issues from it?
No, like I said, I'm first off, I work in my own recording studio. I made enough money to where I can get away from my label's recording studio, and I just have to check in like 2 times I would say 2 times a month, sometimes more. Especially if the clients want to work there, but it's in the city. A lot of people like to stay away from the city because as soon as they step out of the car, they got people swarming them. So I take them to a studio that's kind of like not in the sticks, but it's outside of the city. People aren't going to expect to see, certain people there. But nobody's ever given me shit. People have asked questions like, hey, or they won't say, they will be like, oh, I seen your video, man. Like, you're crazy for putting that shit out there. And I'm like, but like nobody above me has been like, you can't do that. If they did, then obviously I would have took shit down because I'm not going to get myself in trouble. But no, I've caught no flack because my deal with my people is I just can't release my own music to the public. That's it. If it's journalism or anything like that involving other people, I can say whatever the fuck I want to say as long as it's not like exposing them and they're like. Now, if I went out and say it was somebody I worked with, and then I started exposing them for using ghostwriters, including myself, then I would be in trouble. Because then
that makes sense.
You see what I'm saying? Then they would be like, yo, what the fuck are you doing? Like you just.
But if somebody outside of that purview, then Cliff News is on. Like we've launched the Cliff News channel. That's it, baby. That's it, baby.
Maybe I don't know. I don't like to get in the middle of this shit. I just felt obligated because, dude.
No, it's more of a one-off. I feel like it was more of a one-off, wasn't it? Like it was just.
It's kind of funny.
We've got to expose this. This is not what a rap battle is about. So, you stood your ground on it, basically. But go on, Cliff, sorry.
I was just saying, think about it like this. This could have fell in anybody's lap. Somebody, I don't know why they messaged me, but why did they message BP or Knox Hill or AR or That Singer or any other, or give it to No Life Shack? Why the fuck did you give it to me, somebody who's also in the industry as a ghostwriter? Like,
well,
I start thinking, my mind's like, as I'm getting this information, I'm like, is there a different motive here? Are you trying to fuck me over? I think they were trying to fuck me over, and I was a step ahead, and I was like, no. I'm gonna leak this shit so you make nothing off of it because you think I'm just some dumbass white boy who doesn't know hip hop. I'm just gonna fucking throw it right back in your face, and then that's kind of what happened. They couldn't do nothing with that footage. Now that's worthless. Now it's just dead in the water. It's no longer relevant.
Yeah, one thing that I was going to tie together with what everyone was saying too is again the system is fractured in the sense of the gatekeepers, right? We talk about Benzino, and he was a part of the gatekeepers with the Source, and I remember looking up to the Source, the 5 mics, like all these things were huge deals, and the internet has allowed us to put ourselves in certain conversations, whatever you choose, and so we're seeing that with Cliff, Knox, and then sometimes me, AR, and Dom will put ourselves in different conversations, but it is so unique to see that from me not even having dial up. You know what I mean? Like it's really wild.
The AOL days, baby. Come on, send that instant
Bro.
message. You gonna leave that away message? What was your away message, BP?
Bro, it's just dope to see to me because I'm like, yo, it's realer. It's more real, and being able to have a voice, right? Something where in the past they're just like, man, who gives a F about a Cliff Beats, man? Like I ain't gotta hear, but you build your platform and now you have a voice and you can get the truth out. And that's also, it ties into some of the censorship we see as well within the internet space. And I think it's cool because it gives real people in real time a voice, and it's dope. And we got to see that just recently.
Wow.
It all kind of ties together as we're talking about all this. It's not just beef with rap, it's infrastructures, the establishment. There's corporate rap. There's corporate people who need to stay on top. Yo, this young kid just dissed you. We got to help you retort with this battle or your career's over. It's establishment rap. It's cookie cutter, and now we're getting to see through the veil, and this is just pieces of that.
Disruptors.
Yep.
Disruptors. I love the way that that's put. Also, I had a moment, sorry, BP, when we got to see like a close-up of Cliff's beard. I mean, it's immaculate. Like, is it gel? How do we keep it? How do we keep it so fresh? I mean, look at that.
It's always lined up, bro.
That's
Why is it
amazing.
always
He
perfectly
looks like
lined
a
up?
beautiful golfer. Like, you know what I mean? Like a beautiful golfer.
How many days till spring, homie? Come on, let us know.
Let us know, bro. Love you.
Nah, man.
Love
He's
you,
a-
brother.
He's a
Is that a
majestic
compliment or is that
gopher.
a diss, bro? Jesus.
Oh, it's beef. Hey, it's beef
I ain't-
season.
He's from Chicago. I don't want no smoke this way. I'm from
Listen, I know. Listen. I know we're getting late in this podcast, but I feel like I would be remiss if I did not mention two beefs actually involving Drizzy Drake, right? One being probably one of the greatest surprises. You talk about the LL Cool J surprise, the Drake surprise on Meek Mill, right? Back to back, motherfucker. That is how you drop a hit song and just go at someone. Wow, I never thought I could have so much fun on a diss track, but back to back was my shit. And then following that up, Drake showing he can battle, but then we get no-show Drake with one of the greatest reveals of all time. AR, you talked about the man, Pusha T, and the story of Adidon, and literally revealing that you have a kid that you're trying to hide from the world. Probably one of the greatest reveals in a beef and diss track of all time. You want to talk about having insider information. That was a fucking
Oh, my
KO.
God.
That was literally, he made Drake become a father overnight. I mean, that was wild.
The first rap gender reveal. That's crazy.
That was crazy. Nothing like
Yo.
it, boy.
Oh man, damn. So, tying this in, I know Drake writes his stuff, but he has ghostwriters as well.
Quentin Miller, what? I mean, no.
There's plenty of
So-
others. Plenty of
Huh?
others.
Plenty of others, too. Yeah.
So I don't go that far with Drake. I'm just like, look, Drake is fire. He drops bangers. But the problem I have, and I'm just going to put this out there, this is just the truth. Because so if you guys didn't know, I battled Rhymefest in Scribble Jam. That's who I actually lost to. So I
That's
got hip
incredible.
to, it's an interesting feat, right?
We are here with
But,
history. This is good. This is phenomenal.
But that's how I got familiar with him. And then like a year later, because that was 2003, then like a year, all of a sudden Jesus Walks, and people are like, yo, there's this reference track of Rhymefest performing Jesus Walks. That's when I started to understand ghostwriting. And so I follow Ye, because I like Ye. I love the music. But it's like, it's Rhymefest, Consequence, and Sci-Hi. These are like people who are in and out. And these dudes are crazy lyricists. But, okay, for the problem, I just think it's so unique when rappers put out these records that I'm the best. And I'm like, your ghostwriter's the best. That's just me.
Yeah, okay, so it was this line that Sue Surf said, I'm sorry to pivot, but it's crazy because he was accused of having ghostwriters, Sue Surf, in battle rap. And he said something. He said, well, if I got ghostwriters, I guess they dead nice. He said something like,
Oh, hell.
Sue Sir said that,
Yeah, that's a
like,
bar,
man,
that's a bar.
free the wave, man. He been locked up, man. He got a RICO charge, so he been, locked down. But
That's
Sue Sir
what-
said,
That's how you know rap don't pay like they say it do.
And that's how you address rumors of having ghostwriters too, by saying like, I don't have no ghostwriters, man, but if I do, they nice. They're dead nice.
Yeah.
Like, that's a nasty way to fucking put it too.
yeah.
Even like
that's
Eminem when he said like I don't believe in ghosts, I was like, God damn.
crazy.
I was like, God damn, man, this dude is not playing.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
Yeah, this
Just some of the greatest flips. But yeah, you want to talk about ice cold MCs though? Pusha T, man. That story of Adidon.
He's
That's up there
always
for
been
me.
fire.
That's gotta be top 5 diss tracks for me of all time. Just because of that reveal alone, like, is just one of the most high level reveals I think you could get. You talk about us like revealing information and being a news source. I mean, that's fucking news right there.
That battle was a long time coming too. Like they were having little mini beefs back
Yeah.
and forth for a while. Pusha T was really pushing for it for a long time as well. He had issues with Drake, but man, when that did happen,
They were kind of dancing around each other, weren't they? There was a lot of just like throwing a little bit this way, throwing a little bit that way. They're in similar circles. They're bumping into each other.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was crazy, man. But the way it played out, like I thought Drake was gonna fire something back, and the way he kind of was just like, I kind of respected it, and at the same time I was like, but this is battle rap, like you gotta defend yourself. But at the same time, he's like, I'm gonna take the high road because otherwise it's gonna go somewhere else. And I'm like, are you gonna kill someone, Drake? Like, what are you trying to say?
Yeah.
Are you a killer now, like from your wheelchair into grass?
Will-
I
Wheelchair
was
Jimmy?
just about to say that. I was
Wheelchair
just
Jimmy
about-
rolling around with AKs, baby.
With AKs, I can just see him rolling around with AKs.
He got that 360 coverage though. Good luck coming at Drizzy.
I just spin around like this. No, but like I just thought, I'm like, where was it gonna go, Drake? Like, it could have gone way too far. It could have went left. I'm like, or it could have went right for you. He's like, I'll walk around with this chink in my armor. It's like, but you didn't have to. You are an amazing rapper. Respond, but it's like he didn't have nothing to say. Like, it was so devastating that like, what can you really say back?
Isn't it ironic though? Because like the same criticism was thrown at Meek Mills, right? And it's like, Meek, why are you not?
Yeah.
Why are you not coming back at this man? And it's like all of a sudden, like karma somehow worked its way back around on Drake.
Yeah. It was weird because, yeah, like you said, like Meek Mill was on fire too at that time, man. He was
Yeah.
dropping fucking all
Fuck
Dream
yeah.
Chasers, all that. He was going insane. It's like, and Meek Mill came up battle rapping too. So I was like, where are you at, Meek? What's happening here? It was fucking weird, dude. That's also a weird battle.
Well, fellas, we are getting close to this hour mark, and at the beginning of this whole conversation, I heard it kind of slip in there where they're like, "Yo, your top 5." Do we want to wrap up with like a little top 5 list, or what you guys on?
Well, there's 5 of us, so I think if all of us pick one, we can make a team list, right?
A team list?
Yeah,
Team top 5?
team top 5.
Okay, let's go. I'm
Hold on,
going
wait.
last.
So we doing
I'm going
like
last.
if somebody had to save our life, which MC are we picking? Like out of all 5 of us? Is that
We,
what
we might pick the same person.
What is it for a battle or what? We talking about like that's happened or hypothetically, BP?
Just
So
lay out the
I-
terms. Lay out the terms of engagement.
So I wasn't even, you know what? When you guys said top 5, I was thinking you guys were just like, yo, our top 5 MCs, right? Which, you know, typically for this like a group, I'd probably go off like skill or what an MC meant to you. But it's open. I just remember y'all saying top 5. That can mean a lot because initially my mind was like, well, I got to do an underground top 5, and then
How about this? How about
you
this?
know,
Keep it to beef. Keep it to beef. So
Okay.
you gotta pick one MC for your battle, right? Like you gotta pick like one champion for a battle.
I got
That can
mine.
be the top 5.
Off
All right,
top.
go on, Dom. Go on, Dom. You can go first.
Oh, Wayne. That's my number 1 of all time.
Mr.
Easy.
Punchline.
Easy.
Mr. Punchline, man.
It's super easy for me, Wayne. I'm
Okay.
throwing
All right,
him
we got
out
Wayne
there.
as one. All right, who's next?
I'll be the easy one, Eminem. That's not even a question. For me.
Came up as a battle rapper. Amazing ability to just flip things. Yeah, I would take M, especially if I knew M was going second.
Yeah.
AR.
Yo, this is hard, man, because BP said, like, yo, we got an underground top 5, and I started immediately thinking, like, Vinny Paz and stuff like that.
That's what I was doing.
But yeah, because I was
Pick
like,
anyone.
BP said
Pick
underground.
anyone.
So I was like,
You can pick underground if you
Bro.
want. You
Yeah,
pick
it's
mainstream
like
or underground.
who you
Anyone.
want to.
y'all mentioned M and Wayne, who were in my top 5.
Yeah.
So I'll say, this is hard because I got like 5 dudes I want to mention, bro.
Bruh.
I want to mention Black
One.
Thought.
You get
Like,
one.
I'll say Black Thought.
Black
I'll say Black
Thought
Thought.
is crazy.
Yeah, I'll say Black Thought.
Well, we talked about
All right.
Big Bill. Another Philly cat right there. Black Thought. Let's go.
All right, Knox, it's on you.
It's all me? All right. One of the nastiest MCs, if you ever heard him battle, Immortal Technique.
Ooh.
All day.
Ooh. Good
Hold on.
That motherfucker does not play.
No, he
I
doesn't.
would take Immortal.
Real quick, hold on. Go, BP, go say yours, BP. What's yours first?
All right, so before I say mine, it's kind of interesting because it's similar camp as Knox, just because of who you guys picked. But I always want to say this MC because I feel like he gets slept on before I say my pick. Rock him. Like I'm like, why
Yes!
don't people?
God MC, baby.
Yes.
Why don't people put him in the top 5 more? Anyway,
True religion right there.
For some battle shit, Chino XL. If you ever listen to his album, I Told You So, you'd be like, oh, this dude is a battler. Like
Fire,
I mean,
yeah.
he's crazy. He is a lyricist with battle raps. And he actually changes that cadence to speed up, slow down. He has the entendres, the wordplay. I feel like I've always held Eminem in high regard, but I've always held Chino XL up there when I focus on battle lyricism on records. That's one of my favorites.
Right.
That's what I was thinking was on records. I wasn't thinking like acapella because if that's the case, I'm going a whole different route. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But yeah, if it's on wax, like I would have to. I can see where Wayne could come in. I can see Chino. I can see everybody else's picks, man. But yeah, those are some heavy hitters. Black Thought, man.
Even very much if we even go newer, J. Cole was 100%. Like, I mean, just the stuff that
I don't
he
even know
says.
how. No, yeah. That's a good one. That's a
I
good,
personally,
that's a great one.
since we're picking a second one, all right, okay, I'll do it too.
We won't, though. You just want to get it out there.
No, since we're doing a second, thanks, Tom.
Since y'all insist, we'll.
No, Knox, since you really wanted to add somebody, okay, I'll say Royce the 5'9".
Okay. Yeah. Right. All I'm gonna say though about Royce the 5'9" is I got Ghost in the back there, but he might still be seeing Ghost from a last name effects.
Ooh.
Okay.
I turned into an owl.
Interesting, because before you said that, I was actually about to say this. If Eminem's number 1, because I think it's preference, right?
But Royce would be amazing though. Like Royce is one of the top tier lyricists and greatest MCs of all time.
His latest freestyles,
my only quip with his response was it wasn't really a response. It was more like I'm just going to show you my ability. When I just wanted Royce to just get like personal and raw with it. That's what I would have liked to have seen.
But
So
if we're talking
back.
battles, like I wouldn't put him in there. But me personally, I like Black Thought. I like Royce just because of the maturity in their style. I really like that mature approach, bro. Royce's latest stuff is just levels above all these other dudes in the game, bro.
And the
He's
rhyme
a
writing,
mentor.
the rhyme
He's
writing
a
is
mentor.
insane.
He did that freestyle, that 10-minute freestyle or something on LA Leakers, bro.
Oh my god.
He's
The Fibonacci sequence. Oh my god. Dude.
Well, that's what I wanted to highlight about Royce, because I think people get it twisted in a sense. When you look at Eminem, Royce sometimes get forgotten. I always want to tell people from like the ability of fighting, it's your sparring partner who makes you great. That's who makes you great. So technically, your sparring partner is as good as you, and on some days better than you. And people forget that. And I always want to highlight that with Royce, because he is that sparring partner for M, I believe, in a lot of situations.
They push each other.
And that's what you need. You need that push. And I think Royce gets
Crooked
slept
Eye.
on because everyone's looking at M. And I always just look at Royce as the illest sparring partner. And people forget that to get good at your craft, you need that sparring partner needs to know when to push you, needs to know when to let off the gas. Like, it's so crucial in your growth as, let's say, a martial artist, but in any type of form. And that's how I look at Royce. So I just wanted to say that.
Gave me the chills, man.
Yeah. All right, I guess we're doing seconds then because we started it. We'll finish off on seconds, and Dom's gonna love this one, right?
We get the
I
sloppy
would.
seconds.
I
Go
have
ahead and
to-
say it. You better
I gotta
say
mention. I gotta mention one of the greatest battlers of all time, right? I'll take him any day because he is levels deep, like
Talk about him.
quadruples, quintuples, right? I've looked up into the sky and I have seen the light. I have seen the
it. The
daylight.
light.
I have seen the motherfucking light.
Let's go.
Ain't no one touching that man.
Daylight on pen. So if you was to just take, if you was, let me say something real quick, because listen.
Talk to him,
if you-
Dom. Talk
if
to
you
him.
was to take Daylight, okay, and you just put him on paper, right? You don't know who did it. This is why I give you credit, Knox, right? Okay, so listen. If you just take everything Daylight says and put it on paper, and let's say we don't know it's Daylight, it's just somebody, and we reading and we like, oh, this is crazy. We put M on paper, we put you on paper, you know what I'm saying? We put Wayne on paper, like King Los on paper. You know what I'm saying? You will see some of the most intricate lyricism like that you will ever see. I mean, Daylight is really one of those people that's right in the Eminem category. Like
He
I
just
feel like
weaves webs, man. Just
Yeah.
webs of wordplay, like
Yeah,
just the
he-
shit that he juggles.
it's just insane, man, how Daylight does that, man. That's why he's so feared in battle rap. You know what I'm saying? Like he's Loaded Lux is supposed to be like the end all be all. He's like the
end
master.
boss.
Yeah, he's the end boss. Yeah. So if you get Loaded Lux as a battle, then you kind of like can wrap up your career. And that's what Daylight said. He was like, if I get Loaded Lux, I'm done. You know what I'm saying? Because Loaded Lux is another one who kind of
Shout out Loaded Lux too. Shout out Loaded Lux. Shout out Daylight.
Yeah, yeah.
Shout out some of these battle cats.
Shout
Yeah.
out all those battle cats, man. It takes a
Yeah.
lot of balls to get to that stage, dude.
Yeah, it's crazy. That's why you see Method Man dipping his toe in there, and then Cassidy and Method Man stood great against Math Hoffa, who has his own thing going on there. You know what I'm saying? And I have yet to find that battle. I don't know where that's at. You know what I'm saying? But Method and Math tore the house down. But Daylight and Manchild, you've worked with him. BP.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He cooked him though, but
He got cooked. But wasn't he the one who said the daylight savings time bar?
yeah, I wouldn't be.
That
yeah.
was fun. That was fun because you like didn't expect it. You're like, oh shit.
But
he's
it was-
throwing a little,
it
he's
was
throwing a little something.
It was a point where Daylight literally started getting caught in the gimmicks because he understood that I can get away with whatever I want to do. That's why he pooped on stage.
So,
It was
So,
weird.
Dom.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Dom, when are you? Oh, it's not sir, bro. It's just, when are you dropping your like battle rap YouTube channel? Because
Yeah.
I mean,
We need
you're
it.
basically doing it now. So like I've been waiting, man, for all that information.
As soon as all 5 of these medications wear off.
Shit.
Oh,
Yeah.
Great answer.
you're basically doing it now, bro.
That's the answer, man.
No,
That's
but
the answer.
that's something that I want to do because I'm just so passionate about it. That's the reason why I was so big on when I seen this interview with Benzino, and he was specifically asked because he was talking about Eminem and the battle rap culture, and I heard them. They say, "Who is your best battler so far?" So I'm locked in. I'm like, okay, who he about to say? He said, "I like what's that dude from Jersey?
Yeah,
Arsenal." What's the also I like the dude with the glasses. I don't know where he from. He another guy from I'm like, you don't know nothing about battle rap. And then they said, what about women? What's your favorite women? Now we got so many women out there, Miss Hustle, Official, Jazz the Rapper. Everybody might know Jazz the Rapper. Yeah. Jazz the Rapper, all of them. You know what I'm saying? Like 40 bars. He said Lady Luck.
Yeah,
That was back in that was like back in 1967 or some shit. Like, what do you?
He said
Lady
MC Light.
Luck? Like, dude, you are not you literally got on Eminem for this, and you don't know anything
He
about.
knows less than M. That's funny.
Yeah, that's, you know what I'm saying. That's why I called a certain person out also about standing next to Cassidy, and I said, what's some of his battles that he's done? And they said, well, I know Cassidy and Freeway.
Yeah, that was disappointing, man. Now I see why everyone's just like, don't even talk about this motherfucker, dude, because Benzino is just lost in his own world. He's still stuck in 1989.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, you don't watch no battle rap. You don't know nothing about battle rap, bro. Stop it. He lucky I went up there to ask him questions, bro. Like, But yeah,
He
that's
would
coming
have
soon.
just started screaming in your face.
Where you want to meet me at?
I'm right in
Where
front of
you-
you. What do you mean? What are you talking about?
I don't know, a neck surgeon office? I don't know. Let's go there first and then see what we can do.
The Head and Shoulders office.
Oh man, dude.
Beef, the final frontier. These are the voyagers of the What the Word podcast enterprise.
Yeah, and
All right.
for those who don't know about these beefs, man, I highly suggest you go look them up, or if any of us have done reactions to them, go to one of our channels, go check it out, see our breakdowns, but definitely go watch us by yourself too, man. Those are some amazing experiences.
And
Seriously, all
before
the
we
beef.
finish this, I also want to do an honorable mention to 50 Cent's How to Rob. We're talking about this whole beef situation.
yeah.
I have to give a mention to How to Rob. That is fantastic. He went at everybody.
Yeah.
I think
have to do it.
he was almost one of the first people to not be scared to just go after everyone. And now we're in a culture where people will clout chase. I'm not saying he was, but they will try to emulate. That was the blueprint for a lot of things we see right now in that sense. And it's interesting because 50 has that fearless. He's just fearless. So he's just like, bro, I've been shot. Let's get it. And that's what sold that record.
50 is one of the greatest trolls of this day. One of
Yeah.
the greatest trolls ever.
Also, 50 Cent once dissed Chameleonaire. And Chameleonaire
Damn, I
asked
forgot about
50.
him.
Chameleonaire, people forgot about
He's a
him.
real estate broker now.
See me
And no, he's very
rolling.
successful. He's an entrepreneur now. He's a successful businessman. He does talks and stuff, like, for real. He's
Yeah,
quite
real
successful.
estate,
He's
yeah,
just
yeah.
out of the spotlight in rap. And
I love that.
Chameleonaire saw 50 once, and he met him. I don't know if it was an award show or something. And Chameleonaire said, "Yo, 50, why you diss me?" 50 took him and said, "I gave you the opportunity to respond, to put the spotlight on you. It's good for both of us. Why didn't you respond?" So 50 sees this shit as business, which is what it is. It's just attention.
Yeah.
It's
That's
crazy
why I
you said. It's
respect
crazy.
Go on.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, it's crazy you said that because 2 days ago there was reports all over Twitter that Loaded Lux got killed. I don't know if anybody's heard about that. Loaded Lux
Not on
got
Twitter.
killed. So Rum Nitty and Loaded Lux has a battle coming up. They've been going back and forth, and you can see how a lot of it is promotion because Rum Nitty messaged Loaded Lux. He was like, "Fuck the battle, Loaded, dude." Or you like it was about to shake the world, sort of like the how Pat Stay was if Loaded was gone. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because that was the reports. And then I got on and I was like, whoever put that out is trash. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So I was like, wow. And they bought kind of everybody out of the battle rap mode. Like, this is not, you know, we battle, the battle's over. We shake hands, and some people don't.
That's what I love about battle rap, though. You know, you leave it all on the table, but at the end of the day, you appreciate the sport of it. You know,
Yeah.
they all know what they're signing up to and what they're a part
Yeah.
of. You know, and that's what you want to see in any beef. You want to see it talent versus talent. You don't want to see it taken anywhere else or spilling outside of wax or outside of the stage.
It's always
You know,
been
you wanna-
funny. Screw your dead mom. All right, bro. Good battle, man.
Yeah.
I got a question, but before we sign this off, though, do you think there's ever a time in anybody's career as an MC when it comes to battle where it's time to be like, hey, I'm too old for this shit? Anybody see that, or is it just like, it's open waters, you're free to do as you fucking please?
I think, like BP said, I think we're in a new territory, right? Because it used to be, because hip-hop was so young, rap was so young, you didn't have a bunch of artists that were, like, in their 50s, dropping records then, and in their 60s. And people started getting older, and they started thinking about retirement. I mean, Jay-Z tried it, like, 3 or 4 times, right? Because he's thinking that he's too old. But then you have Nas still dropping shit in his 50s, like BP said. Like, M dropping shit in his 50s. So I think now it's like, well, if they're still dropping records, then if they want to be involved in diss tracks, then fucking let them. If there's people that are going to listen to it and do it, I guess we're just, a new precedent is getting set.
Yeah, it's paving a new wave, yeah.
Cliff, if Pete and Baz can do it, anything goes.
Yeah.
True. That's
The
true.
British gangsters.
The gangsters.
Oh, Lord.
Right,
have mercy.
and on
Gangster
that one, I
grandpa.
think that's a good sign off, man, on Pete and Bass.
That is Pete and Bout, yeah.
Well, that's it for you guys. That's their episode of Beef with the one and only What's the Word podcast with Cliff Beats, That Singer Reactions, Anthony Ray, and Knox Hill, and your boy, Black Pegasus.
Thank you
Peace.
guys.
Peace.